Hey guys, today I'm going to do a video on both the small stone and bad stone phasers from Electro-Harmonix. I really like the sound of the small stone phaser, and the major contribution to that is because of Jean-Michel Jarre's Oxygen series. It was heavily featured on there with some string machines and some other synths, especially on the pad sounds. I think it sounds awesome. I also got a bad stone just to see what it was like, and I really like both of them. In the setup here, I have a minilogue XD going into the bad stone, then going into the small stone. They shouldn't affect each other when they're bypassed because they're both true bypass, so that's pretty cool in that case. And then I have an Oceans 12 here acting as a buffer and as a reverb. The reason I need a buffer is because the bad stone has a significant volume drop when it's plugged directly into a audio interface with a low impedance input. It suffers the same problem that the Phase 90 does, so this helps normalize the volume when it's engaged. But yeah, so plus reverb's awesome, and might as well add it from another Electro-Harmonix product, which I'm still going to do a review on that, I promise. I just haven't. This is just more interesting to me, the phase shifters right now, or phaser pedals. I demoed most of what these sound like in the opening, but I'm going to go over some more things about them. So I have this really cool fifth up patch. And we'll go with a bad stone first. So let's go over the caveats with this. So this thing is incredibly noisy. I have a noise gate on order. I know I can use the Zoom 70 CDR, but I just want like a standard noise gate. So I bought a Sonic Cake noise gate, which is based on the Moore design. From what I've read, it works fine, and you really need a noise gate on the output here. I'll do some post-processing where I boost this, but yeah, you might not even need that. But you can definitely hear it. It is very noisy. The small stone, on the other hand, does not have that. In comparison to the small stone, which does not have that problem. So, disabled. It's a little noisy, but not as noisy. Yeah, so that could be a problem, but I have a noise gate on the way, and that should help. And in the case of this pedal, this has some caveats too. If you touch the color switch, you can get some 60 Hz hum on it. Something that the bad stone does not. So it's just something you have to be aware about. They're special in terms of their quality control at Electro-Harmonix. I mean, they've always been kind of known for that, but yeah, these have their problems, and I think that's a design problem. I had a Big Muff that had the same problem, where if you touched the metal components, you'd get 60 Hz hum off of it, so it's not specific to this pedal. All right, let's go over some differences between the two. So the bad stone is a 6-stage phaser. The small stone is a 4-stage phaser. Both of them, I think, sound excellent on synth, especially on pad sounds. Jean-Michel Jarre on Oxygen used the small stone and not the bad stone, with what sounds like the color setting turned on. The color setting, from what I understand from the schematic, it changes the way the LFO affects the sweep. It makes it a little broader. It doesn't add feedback because it seems like with it on or off, you both have feedback. The bad stone, being a 6-stage phaser, is a little more pronounced in its filtering, plus it has a dedicated feedback control where you can set how much feedback it has, and it has a manual sweeping function. We'll get into that in a second here. Let's actually listen to that. I'll go ahead and just play the 5th pad that I was using in the opening. We'll turn that on. Let's go to manual. That disengages the LFO. Let's add some reverb to make that cool. But now, with the LFO disabled, I can manually move the LFO, or the center point of where the modulation is happening, or basically I'm filter sweeping its filter. Kind of interesting. The Electric Mistress has something similar to that. So, yeah, that's a cool feature. I like the feedback control as well. So, let's go back to LFO. So, turn up the rate. That can get very almost resonant. I think that sounds really cool. The cool thing about the Bad Stone is this is not exactly the same as the 70s version of it. They did some modifications to it. And the modification that they did is they made the LFO go really slow. I'm talking like they made it go down to 0.05 hertz instead of the 0.2 hertz that the original Bad Stone was. So that's really nice for some ambient sweeps. So here, I mean, let's do that. Let's just... I mean, the feedback's all the way up, but listen to how long that sweep is. And it can go all the way up to 32 hertz, which is just like, yeah, that's unusable in my opinion at the top setting. Because no notes get through, it's just buzzing. Other than the noise issue that this pedal has, it is excellent, and I absolutely adore it. It's a really nice pedal. So I don't know exactly where the noise is coming from. It's not from the power supply. I had the same noise issue when trying it on batteries. I've tried the AC adapter that they recommend is a linear power supply, so it doesn't have any switch mode issues. That's not switch mode noise. It's just hiss. I think it's all the op amps in it. So yeah, something to be aware of. A noise gate can fix that. When you're actually sending a signal through it, you can't really hear it, so not a big deal in that case, so the noise gate will fix that. Let's swap back over to the Small Stone. So the Small Stone is a much simpler pedal. You don't have control over the feedback, but you do have a color switch that changes the LFO a little bit, from what I understand at least. I looked at the schematic or somebody's deconstruction of it, and it looks like the color switch isn't swapped to feedback at all. It is completely tied into the LFO, so it makes the sweep larger. So, off. So this one has a bit of a boost when you engage it. I think it sounds awesome. Let's turn that up about halfway. With the color enabled, that is just a much deeper sweep. It's just really cool sounding. It's like instant oxygen there. So put a pad through that, especially at a slow sweep, and it's just wonderful. So here, we'll just do that. So honestly, I like both these pedals. The Bad Stone has the more options, the noisier out of the two. The Small Stone has that authentic, just early 1970s style to it. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be early 1970s, it would be late 1970s, but let's just say that 1970s phasing sound. I think these two do a lot better job on synth than the Phase 90 does. The Phase 90 still has a place in what I'm going to use it for, but these are just special when it comes to using it on keys and synth. They sound especially good on things like clavichord sounds, obviously, and electric piano. But yeah, let's do that really quick before I stop this. Let's just put a plucked sound in there. I have this like 8-bit pluck. It's almost like an auto wah. Yeah, so I really like both of them. They're great. Again, they're a little on the noisy side, the bad stone being the noisier out of the two. The small stone having that buzz issue if you press any metal on it, but you know, you can work through those issues. And what it really gives you in a synth, especially with pad sounds, just wonderful with pad sounds, especially with high feedback on the bad stone, for instance. It's wonderful, especially when you put it right into a stereo reverb. I think you really need a reverb on the end of it to make it sound just that much better. Stereo reverb, I should say. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was informative and you guys enjoyed this.